speak moron as well as you, but let me try.
What the hell is supposed to do, you moron?
It's a moron. That's not against the law.
Gun! You fucking moron!
Stuff like Batman.
Because he is Batman, you moron.
What are you, a fucking moron?
You moron. Drop dead. Moron.
Whoa!
Up here, you morons.
Stepping morons like yourself.
Me down, you moron! Hey, moron! To say in different dialects, really. And that word that you've just said there, Shaun, is one that I really struggle with as well, so I avoid it at all costs.
Robin has to be the favorite date, that's it.
I can't say that word.
It's quite hard to say, like.
Well, obviously, this stems from when we had the Queen movie that it's a fucking no go if I try and say it. But there's that. We had one that I've been getting slagged off for recently where we had like a little Mexican night for dinner, and I had got, and I'm going to slow myself down to say this, and I think I've already told you this.
Last time.
Oh, did I? Well, my refried beans, and still trips me up there. But that one there, Shaun, you talking about somebody trying to rob your house, that's no one for me.
What would you do if someone tried to rob your house? Like, do you have a weapon by the bed or anything like that?
I've got 2 weapons attached to the. I fucked that up. Just leave it. Can't I fucking speak, man?
Ella's got a big knife in her side of the bed. A big knife. It's a bit scary for me. Ella.
Really?
Aye, on her side of the bed, aye.
I don't know if that's for a burglar or if that's for you, Daniel, one night.
No. I just need, I need to be on my best behaviour at all times.
That's fucking weird, like
we were saying off air, me and Kyle sleep naked. No,
together.
That's what we talked about.
I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to put a long pause.
That made it sound like we sleep naked together. That wasn't what I meant. But we both sleep naked, and if somebody did break into my house, I would just go down naked. And I feel like it would just give me an extra split second to like freaking them out. Plus, I'm hairy as fuck. They would think some sort of like gargoyle thing's coming down the stairs like a fucking. What the fuck's that Sasquatch thing fucking?
Oh. It'd be like a dog with red lipstick sticking out there.
That dog's got with 2 legs.
Well, I don't know what would happen if somebody robbed us, but if somebody managed to get up into the bedroom, lucky for me, I sleep on the side of the bed that's furthest away from the door, so they'd get the missus first. That's perfect. That'll give me enough time to try and dart out the room, ball it naked, and run away and leave everybody in the house. Although I didn't move that quick these days, so I don't know if there'd be any darting.
I was going to say, man, like, I just imagine you waddling down the street in the scud.
my big belly hanging at the top of my bobby.
I remember years ago when I was still staying at home, is that didn't they burgle the house, but somebody tried to get into the garage and outside, and then I think one of the neighbours heard it because it wasn't like a automatic garage. It was like one that you just lifted up and it just made a racket or whatever. And then my mum must have came into my room because one of the neighbours had saw him, and then the guy ran away. I think he obviously thought there was going to be all these things that he could sell or whatever in the garage. All it is a freezer. Like, there's literally nothing. You can get some fish out there if you want and run home with frozen fish or something. And then mom came into my room and obviously told me that somebody must have been trying to break in, whatever. I don't remember this, but I just must have turned over and fell back to sleep, and then she told me again in the morning and didn't even go down to actually ask if she was all right. So if somebody came and burgled my house, I'd probably just like see them and then just fall back to sleep.
Well, Shaun put that to the test one night, didn't he, no?
That's true, aye.
You've had people break into your house?
My wee brothers have still got a key for mine, and I think they were at Neely's house, and they ran out of drink, so they decided that they knew I had drink in my house, so they decided they would break in, use a key to get into my house, but then I counted who it was, ran up the stairs and started shouting police middle of the night. So it's like I think it's like a Sunday night or a Monday night or something. I'm working the next day. It's about 2 a.m. I'm having like a good sleep before work and that. Then I
was
came
it a Sunday? Aye.
Oh
was that
god.
Sunday? I came
Aye.
up with my boxers on in the middle of the hallway, just like half asleep. No, even actually, no weapons, no anything. So if it was a proper burglar, they'd have just been able to do whatever they wanted to me. But they just came in to steal drink from my house and then disappeared again. That was awfully nice of them. I wasn't tired at all the next day with that interrupted sleep. So
Aye, that is quite bad. Sorry about that.
thanks for that.
I think
But
they,
we also took your
I'm sure it
washing
wasn't your
basket.
idea, to be fair, Shaun. I think there would probably be other people that were the Greensbend operation.
No, but we did all agree on it, and we did how we laughed about it. We also stole your washing basket to carry the drink round the road as well. So I don't know if you've got that back. It was
I think I've got that back now.
or he's not done his washing since.
Just keep buying new clays.
I've had a terrifying experience once when I was sleeping, and I was sleeping with a pair of headphones on and just drowning out some background noise, and just that way, like you're asleep and you can just kind of feel a presence around you, right? So like I've like rolled over to where the door was. I've kind of half opened my eyes and fucking shit myself because there's this guy standing in the middle of the room with no top on, a pair of pants and a pair of black socks, just staring at me. Absolutely, I was like, what is the intentions of this guy's eyes? That guy was Burnsy. When I stayed at Burns's house and I had to sleep with headphones on to avoid the fucking Snorlax noises, but he was steaming drunk and decided to just stand in the room and stare at me. And then he was trying to put the light on, but he couldn't find the light switch, so I had to send him to his bed.
And if I remember right, once you said to go to your bed, I just like socked off and just went to sleep.
You just went to your bed, you just done it yourself. Creepy bastard. Well,
we're all mental. That's what One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It makes me think of Burnsy about 4 or 5 different characters in this. The Burnsy theme song.
Well, that's it. Movie for this week, guys. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. One of the few films that we didn't have on any of the streaming services, so I had to dip my hand into my skint pocket so that we all had the ability to watch this. It's funny when you get the wee messages. 2 of you messaged me today at like lunchtime to get the details to log in. I was like, we've known that this movie's coming up for a few weeks now. I've only paid for it last week, but the fact that we all left it so last minute because I still hadn't watched it all at this point as well.
I didn't usually all grab up myself. We asked a pizza deal and then bought it through Sky Cinema.
Ooh.
But you'd already paid for it on Amazon by that point, so.
That sounds lovely. Did you have your feet in a wee foot spa at the same time and fucking with a face mask on?
I did, aye. It was awfully nice.
Cucumbers.
just tours of cucumbers over my eyes so I couldn't even see the film.
No chopped up, just full cucumbers.
2 actually huge cucumbers. Shaun sitting at the side with his hot dogs. Well, in the fall of 1963, a Korean war veteran and criminal pleads insanity and is admitted to a mental institution where he rallies up the scared patients against the tyrannical nurse. This was me. I picked this as a seen movie, but had anyone not seen this movie before?
Me.
Oh, Shaun.
What?
Shaun, had you seen this one before?
Can you hear me?
We can now.
All right. No, I hadn't seen it before.
Careful. Keep talking. Tell us your thoughts.
This has not been a good week, guys. Again, as we spoke about last week or half an hour ago, whatever we want to put it, this is like one that you hear about. Oh, this is a classic. This and that. I really didn't get this. I found it slow and boring again, and I know that people users probably loved it, and I know that when it gets posted on the internet, people are going to be fucking calling me names and all that again, and I just didn't. I just didn't understand it. I just found it like pretty. 1 minute they're escaping over, he just fucking stepped on the Indians' shooters, jumped the fence, got on a bus, went in a boat. And then, literally, I was a wee disclaimer. I was watching this while I was working, so to be fair, I probably didn't give it the full attention that I could have. But the next minute I looked up, they were just back in the mental institution, and I was like, "What the fuck's happened here?" So I just obviously continued watching. I just didn't get it. I couldn't get into it. If I'm completely honest, I was bored, stiffless watching this. I don't understand the hype with this, and obviously I text Kyle at lunchtime to ask him for the login details, and he said, and I just couldn't be bought watching it. I was like, "Oh, I'm dreading this." And then he said, "What a film it is, though." And then I had about 5 minutes to go. I text him going, "What part?" or something like that. I just didn't get this at all. And I know I'm going to get absolutely fucked for it, but I don't care. I just didn't like it. I don't see what everybody else sees with this. This is one that flew over my head.
Oh, one flew over my head. That's another one for the name.
And I know
I can see you chipping it, ready to jump in whenever you get the second, but go for it.
Me?
I can see you're chomping at the bit to get in there.
I'm a big fan of this film. I actually went to see the live stage version of this as well, with Christian Slater. Have I told the Christian Slater story on this before?
Don't think so,
I think so, no.
I went to see One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, starring Christian Slater, and Mackenzie Cook was in it, and a guy from Police Academy was the big Indian guy. And at the end of it, when they were doing the applause and all that, Christian Slater took off like his sweaty shirt and threw it into the audience to all the screaming women, and it came like towards me. So like natural instinct, if someone's coming towards you, you want to catch it, right? So like I've reached forward to catch it, but sort of fallen down into the door in front of me, and I've got to hold it, and then I'm trying to like grab it, and then I like take a second to think about it, and it was me and like 3 women fighting over this sweaty shirt, and it looks like I'm like the biggest fucking Christian Slater fan in the world that was his sweaty shirt, and I just like had this moment, I just let it go. I was like, "Oh shit, sorry, what the fuck am I doing?" Anyway.
You've also missed the fact that you were standing with a sign saying, "Christian Slater, can I have your shirt, please?"
I like this film. I think it's a great story. It was actually a stage show first, because I was just recently listening to a podcast with Danny DeVito talking about it, and he was in the stage show, and that's what got him cast in the movie, which ultimately gave him his big break into Hollywood.
Which honestly, I had no idea for most of this movie.
Did he talk about that on the Sunny podcast?
Yeah.
I did mind you hearing that too.
I had no idea it was Danny DeVito till I was sitting watching it on the laptop, and I'd moved my mouse across the screen, and with Amazon it pops up Gucci's trivia and tells you who's in, and I seen Danny DeVito there, and I was like, "Fuck, so it is."
I was the exact same, even though I'd listened to that exact same podcast. That I'd press pause, I connect to the toilet or something, so you pause it, then you get that Amazon whatever Expedia thing that tells you who's in each scene. And I was like, "Fuck!" And then, but once you do see it's him, you can't unsee it again after that.
I didn't know he was in it.
No. So yeah, he's the wee guy that's Danny DeVito.
He's the wee guy. Fucking hell, so it is.
Bye. So this, and everybody loves Danny DeVito. He's like a hero for everybody. He's one of these folk that nothing bad will ever come out about Danny DeVito. He's a fucking treasure of a man. Let's hope he lives forever. But I just think everyone's performance in this is great. I think your man for Back to the Future is good.
He was good,
Mm-hmm.
I think Jack Nicholson's fucking excellent in this. The woman that plays Nurse Ratchet, he was just like the ever so slightest change in her facial expressions. It like changes the whole feeling of a scene. Like it's just there's something really masterful about her in this.
Excellent.
She's brilliant. Like the guy that wants his cigarettes, he's amazing, and that whole scene's brilliant. I just think that it does a really good job. A lot of the scenes stay like it stays in the same scene for maybe 10, 15 minutes. Like maybe sometimes like there's therapy sessions or when they go away in the boat. Everything lasts quite a long time, and it does a good job of making you feel like he's been in there for ages and he's starting to go crazy. He wants to get out. I know that Shaun didn't really get this, but I just think this does an amazing job at making you feel like part of the place, if you know what I mean. Every character gets to sort of shine a little bit, even though it's all mostly about Jack Nicholson's character. And then, because he's the guy that taught them all about fucking expressing himself and freedom, and then to see him lobotomized at the end, where he's. And for those that watched it for the first time, like Shaun and Burnsy, were you expecting him to like give the Indian guy a wee wink and they would be okay? Or did you, when he was killing him, or did you think, like, did that shock you when he fucking smothered him with a pillow?
I thought it was G-Man.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to happen at all. No, I didn't expect him to get what do you use lobotom? Is it lobotomized? You call it?
Mhm.
I didn't expect that either. To be fair, when he came back, I was expecting it to be all sort of, you know, how before he came back after being away and it was all like he was joking. I thought it was going to be similar at that point, and I thought then both of them were still going to be able to escape basically.
Aye.
As well.
Again, so it does that on purpose. It sort of teases you earlier on that he came back sort of acting like that, and then he gave the guy a wee wink, and this time it didn't happen. I love him and the Chief's relationship through it, that the Chief no spoke to anyone for the whole time he's been there, but he sort of lets Murphy in the fucking
the rounds or whatever it is, the work.
He lets him in the wee seats and all that. And it's good. I just think it's great. There's loads of really iconic scenes in it. It's a bit like 12 Angry Men, that it's just all about the characters.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And the ultimate story, like, oh, they go away. It doesn't make sense because they go away in the boat and he brings them back. It wasn't at that point. Murphy had to realise that he was committed and the rest of them were all there.
Yeah.
He thought he was just going to get sent back to the prison if he caused enough bother. And then the slow realisation that he was stuck there, right? But then there's the time where he could have got out when he was having the big party. And I think deep down he was a bit like the people that were there voluntarily, because I think he needed all of them because he was a bit mental and he started to realise that himself, because he could have escaped at any point during that party. So when they had the window wide open and the whole point, and he cared more about them, and I think ultimately he knew he was fucked up in the head and he wasn't very good at functioning outside of there. And inside there he was the coolest guy. He's like the fucking leader of the gang and he's the smartest cunt and they all look up to him. And I bet in his real life nobody looks up to him because he's a fucking criminal. I guess there's so many things and so many layers to this. I'm going to stop talking because I could.
So there is emotions all over the place with it as well, because obviously we Billy Bippet gets his leg over, and even that's quite a weird scene as well, because he's so out of his comfort zone, and it's a bit creepy that like, it was her name, Candy's been told just the day they did wee Billy because he's cute, and then the way that Nurse Ratched just brings him down and destroys him in front of everybody leads to him going and committing suicide, which in that bit your blood starts boiling towards Nurse Ratched, and you start to get that frustration because she is a cunt, and then he does that, and then I was gutted, and I've seen this before, but I was absolutely gutted that he had killed himself, because he's obviously mentally unstable. He's petrified of his mum and he's scared of disappointing her, and that's ultimately led to him doing that, and it was just mental. And then Jack Nicholson's then trying to strangle her, and I'm like, fucking get her, sort her out.
And he was so close, like he was going to kill her. Like it wasn't, he was wanting to murder her. Just before you move on to her, she's like such a fucking perfect villain, isn't she? Like it's been copied since then, and it's a legendary character for a reason, because she did not want to help any of them. All she wanted was to control all of them. Like she was just a fucking psychopath that wanted to be in control of people, and that's why any hint of anyone getting better, she would fucking bring them right back down. Do you know what I mean? And she could just control every single little aspect, and she forced that boy to kill himself essentially. And then at any click of her fingers, she could send you away to be fucking lobotomized. Do you know what I mean? And you're a fucking vegetable. Like, it's fucking super evil. I love it.
It's the part where they're sitting around and they're having the vote, and obviously everyone's kicking off about cigarettes and how they're feeling and what they're wanting and stuff. And the vote itself, goes to it wasn't a majority, and then seconds later he gets the extra vote. It's just no, that's 10 seconds too late. Like her whole thing was it has to be majority. They got the majority, but she just was not giving anything away or giving anything for them to have any type of excitement or anything that they want. But it's mad that obviously Jack Nicholson's character is pushing her out of the boundaries, out of the control that she's had for so long. So you can see her getting more and more frustrated and more evil as it moves on as well.
But then she's given the option. Sorry, Hunter, sorry.
I was just going to say she obviously, as you're saying, with her thirst for power, if he was going to push her button, she could have just got rid of him and then just been in total control of everyone in the palm of her hand. But she's like, no, I'm going to break him down. Like he's obviously pushed her buttons enough. It's her. She's not saying, no, we can rehabilitate him. She's probably thinking just that sinister and, as you said, thirsty for power and control. That like, I'm going to break him down and you'll be the next one of my victims or whatever.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Hunter. Read my mind.
There you go.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I was just going to one last bit. I was absolutely pissing myself at the guy for The Shining, the nighttime guard guy.
Yeah.
Pissing myself that he's getting offered like $20, and he's like, need a little bit more than that. And it was like, well, you get the alcohol. And he's like, yeah, you're on the right path, but what about they two that are out there? There's one of them mine.
He wanted them to share. That's Scatman Brothers, that guy.
Yeah. And I was just howling at like that whole little scene with the party and stuff, and then the way that he was, and then he was kicking off about it being his job and stuff as well. Just that whole scene was excellent to me. I loved every bit of that. Burnsy.
I follow on for what you were saying there. Is like for this one, there was some like relief with it, things like that, like the party scene, and then how they're all just like shoved into this wee cupboard or room base, and then off falling about and whatever, or probably all smashed as well. Like there was, although it was quite serious at times, there was bits that were more laid back that meant that's why I enjoyed it more than the film for half an hour ago that we did. So.
Just to jump in that scene where in the cupboard, my whole favourite bit for this movie is when I can't remember what he's Turkle. That's it. When they're like, "Where's Turkle? Where's Turkle?" He's like, "Motherfuckers, I'm hiding with you."
Aye. I think you've all sort of covered a lot of the good points that were similar to mine. As I thought the interactions between the two main characters were classes. Like, although the script was good, is like I thought as well that there was even just the looks that they gave each other, like the facial expressions and stuff like that. They didn't even really need to say anything at times. It was more just the looks that it gave away that she didn't like him. She wanted the power over him, and he wasn't backing down. He couldn't stand her, and he was back. He was trying to obviously back up all the other inmates, basically. Which just proves like it was to me that'd be more acting performances, I guess. Maybe they will. I don't know how scripts work in terms of whether they sort of give you ideas of how you should be looking at each other, but whatever way it was done, thought that was perfect. And as Daniel said, is like because each all the patients had their own roles in it, and it was enough in terms of they weren't sort of main characters, but it was enough that you remembered what each one was and whatever, and you knew what their character was like, that you weren't getting mixed up as well. And I think as well that if they'd built it in terms of more of them, then I would have got lost and been like, don't know who that is, don't know what happened with him or whatever. It was perfect for that point of view. The only bit which kind of lost me was when they stole the bus and went on like the fishing trip. I just thought I didn't understand what that was about. Like, just completely bamboozled me. The party scene I thought was really well done too. And you kind of knew as well that it'd be like hell to pay when the head nurse came back as well.
I think the whole stealing the boat thing, like stealing the bus and then the boat and all that, was to show that they look how happy they all were when they came back, right? And they can live in normal society. And I think to me anyway, it highlights the fact that most of them are stuck where they are because of her and her keeping them there. Because they went out, they've got a boat, they fucking caught some fish, they were all fucking delighted, and half of them are there voluntarily and they could leave at any time, but they can't because she's got a fucking hold on the
I think
world.
it's just there in their head, although they're voluntarily there. It's more just like they're fearful of her still, really, to an extent. Even though they can just say, "I'm going," they're still worried of what she would do even if they just tried to walk out. Basically,
they have sound mind, but she's just broke them down that much. Broke them down that much. Sorry, that they then live in the fear that she's basically made them believe that they can't function in the outside world.
And
they need that routine, they need that structure, they need that power of the stuff.
And probably when you get to that stage as well, it's like you say, Hunter, is like you probably feel as if you couldn't look after yourself if you're just basically getting like looked after like they are, even though they're probably not getting looked after well, but they just feel as if they wouldn't be able to manage on their own. They would need somebody, even if she obviously wasn't that nice to them. And then what Kyle mentioned about the suicide part is like, I didn't expect that. I expect them just being in like floods of tears or something, you know what I mean? And then obviously see that was unexpected.
She gives him the big speech, "Oh, I'm offending your mother," whatever. Then basically, absolutely no emotion when he's lying in the office.
Yeah,
talking these zealots.
It made me think his mother's probably a really evil woman as well, because obviously they know each other, and the mother's probably suggested him being in there. I mean, I think there'd be a good spin-off fucking story there or something. Fucking more.
And I thought all the ending was unexpected for me as well, which I did. Although I did say, I remember I said previously, I'm sure I watched this at school, but it was that long ago. It was pretty much like a first watch for me. I think I'm assuming, I don't know if it was. Now I'm beginning to doubt myself. I did, but I'm sure I watched it in English or something. But whether I did or I've just made this up now, because I knew going in that I didn't have a clue what happened in the film. It was more just I knew of the film. I was quite sure I'd watched it, but I think you have all sort of pointed out all the good points. I don't think there's much else to add, really.
Just on Nurse Ratched, there's a list here. It's the AFI's 100 years of 100 heroes and 100 villains. She is 5th on the list of the top villains of all time. Who's number 1 on the list?
Is that the shark from Jaws?
No.
That's a great shout. Number 1 villain, Joker.
Nah.
Who's super evil? The guy for There Will Be Blood.
Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter's number 1.
Well done.
So Hannibal Lecter number 1, Norman Bates number 2.
Good shout.
Darth Vader number 3.
Shout.
And number 4 is the Wicked Witch of the West.
And then Nurse Ratched.
Then Nurse Ratched, and then number 12 in the list, because we mentioned them before in the previous episode a week ago. The boy for A Clockwork Orange.
Oh, aye.
There we go. I don't even know who this is, but the hero is for a film called To Kill a Mockingbird. Atticus Finch.
I've seen that as well.
What?
Aye.
Is this like a what do you call it, like a sliding doors moment where we've got a one film that Bumsy's seen, but none of the rest of us have?
You've watched 1962 To Kill a Mockingbird.
Aye. I don't remember it, but
this is the multiverse in full flow now. Like,
it's because like these. Although there'll be films that I've watched, but if you asked me to watch it again, I'd be like, couldn't tell you the first thing about it. And because there's that few films that I have seen, I'll know if I've seen it by the name of it. Because my knowledge of films is that shite. You could use it 10 phrases, and I wouldn't know if there were films or not.
That's took me back there.
I'm assuming you like this, Hunter.
Aye. I kind of touched on it earlier on, but it's just like a young Frank Reynolds definitely reminds me of a drunk Bengal. Just add a few noises in and a drunk Bumsy. Like.
See when he's just going like, hit me. That's what I imagine. See if we were playing cards with Burnsy, that's what he'd be like, or who's steaming. Hit me. Slow your tongue. Fucking hit me.
Oh, sitting on 35, hit me. Pardon me, but again, as you have all said, it's just so captivating, and some of the characters you totally buy in. You're rooting for everyone, obviously, apart from Nurse Ratched, obviously. Just kind of, it's so good, the characters like with Jack Nicholson, and as you said, that relationship he's got with the Chief is just, they're just like, as you said, someone to bring out, actually seems to bring the best out of everyone that's in there. It's like he, as you said, touched on, he's got that, he's in a place where maybe he feels like he belongs, everyone looks up to him, everyone respects him. Again, you don't, obviously we know he's a Korean War vet, but you don't know how he was in the army. Maybe he was just treated like some sort of peasant soldier or whatever, just kind of used and abused maybe by the military, that he's at a place, in a place where he belongs and he feels valued. Again, obviously not by those in power, but by his peers. And then the kind of, obviously, I think that the scene where they're out in the boat when he's taking the lassie and then they all just start abandoning what they're doing just to go and try and get a peek of him shagging the lassie in the bit. It's like just like the bit where it pans out and you just see the boat still flying round in circles in the middle of it.
Road with the fucking 10 guys trying to look through a window.
I get. Oh, it's so good.
You seem like that.
And again, I can understand what you said, Shaun. Like if you're not maybe in the right state of mind, or like if you're maybe kind of similar to what we had with Taxi Driver, if you're thinking going in, oh, I need to like this, then I can understand. You can maybe like if you're not capped into it straight away, then I can totally understand where you've come from. But again, because I'd seen this before, kind of it was one I was looking forward to again, and I had forgotten. For some reason, I had like a whole sort of Mandela effect in it in mind. I thought it was Jack Nicholson that got out, and like in my mind, like, he's the one that gets out at the end. So it kind of took me aback again, kind of seeing the end. And I didn't see it coming as it did. But again, I mean, obviously, I've got some in the trivia here, but again, it's like one of only 3 films to win like the top, like essentially the Grand Slam at the Oscars, where you've got like best actor, best actress, best director. Kind of, again, that's a classic for me. And again, it's definitely one of those ones. If anyone's looking for something to watch and you've got a spare Asda night in voucher, then get yourself involved.
A night in voucher. What about Trivia Hunter?
Again, obviously, I've kind of stolen my own trivia there for a change, which is not like me. So again, on that one there, so it's setting of only 3 movies that have won that kind of what we call like the Grand Slam at the Oscars. And funnily enough, we've mentioned a character from one of these already, which was Silence of the Lambs was the other one. Another one was Happened One Night, which I'm never expecting Bunty to say I've seen that too, for a
I haven't seen that one.
classic. So I did have a few more over here. So Louise Fletcher, as it said, that she found basically Nurse Ratched, I think we just said she was actually disturbed by her own performance, that she couldn't watch the film for years, because obviously she just had to take a total character change, I'd imagine. I mean, I don't imagine she's like that in real life.
No.
Hopefully not. I guess she'd only actually signed up for the film a week before it actually started filming as well.
Wow.
And in 1975, it was the 7th biggest grossing film of all time. The final scene was shot in one take, whereas the party scene actually took 4 nights. Again, that's not by design. That's just like, let's just string this out as long as we can, boys.
If it's on the company dollar, get as much drink as you can.
Aye.
And apparently, the character Ellis is shown to have had a lobotomy in a deleted scene, which is why he's withdrawn throughout the movie.
Fair play.
I think the threat of lobotomies is sort of there as an undercurrent all the way through it.
I mean, obviously, when you see the bit where they try even the electroshock therapy first.
Yeah.
Just looking at where this sits on IMDb, obviously it's really, really high up there, but it's 18th of all time just behind Goodfellas and just in front of Seven, which are high up on our leaderboard, guys, which is obviously up to date.
Sean's gonna keep this at the top 20.
It is what it is.
Well, let's mix up it. Let's go to Daniel first.
I'm going this a 4.75.
Right, we'll put Shaun in the middle, right? I'll go next. I'm going to give us a 5. Shaun?
Sure.
I don't really know what to do. Obviously, I didn't particularly enjoy it. Again, I know what's going to happen when this goes on fucking Instagram and that. What I want you to do is put like a wee star next to it, right? Just put a wee star next to it, which indicates that I couldn't give a flying fuck what anybody would say. But again, I can obviously appreciate it in terms of like the performances and things like that. But I just couldn't. I don't know. I found it just really like a really weird film, and I just couldn't get into it. So I'm going to give it a 2.75. I think it's probably the fairest I can go.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
But were you expecting higher?
I was expecting
No,
lower.
I was expecting lower, actually.
I was expecting about a 1.
No. It's no. I wouldn't say that territory. I mean, it's no like as I said. Like I don't think I used the word like I disliked it. I didn't like it. I just didn't get it. So like I couldn't score a film of 1 just because I didn't get it. Like if I fucking absolutely hated it and thought this is utter like dog shit, then I would give like a 1, like I have done for other films, like The Godfather, for instance. Like I think that's just utter nonsense. But like this is different. I just didn't understand. I just didn't get it. I just found it quite boring. You can move on now. Please stop me for talking. Can you move on and take somebody else's score?
Right, Hunter.
And the second week of the Dunter Alliance, 4.75 for me.
4.75. Burnsy.
4.25 for me.
4.25. Even that's low, prick. What does that do to the overall scoring then, Burnsy?
4.3.
A 4.3. So on the outdated Morons leaderboard, that puts that joint beside There Will Be Blood.
A similar standard of movie.
Mm-hmm.
So just behind Terminator 2 and in front of Fargo / Pulp Fiction.
That's a good place. Good place for it.
Well, I look forward to these scores going up on Instagram, Daniel. If you make that pretty soon, I'd love to get to see people's thoughts on Shaun's score for an absolute classic. Which
In fact, we're missing some listeners / page followers comments, so maybe we did get a few of them up. Some sort of Freel's thoughts as a wee
You should put it up, Daniel, and say, what do you expect the Morons to score these movies? And then let's see what they expect of us.
Aye, I'll start.
This is where the nonsense comes in, because everybody just says there's no in between with these fucking idiots. It's either a 5 or it's a 1. Right? There's no in between. They don't grasp the concept or the idea that it's not everybody likes the same things. Like that's the big like for instance, right, as an example, I would say that one of my favourite films is The Good Aye.
Back to the Future.
Okay, I'll just use that as an example, right? I know that, right? No, I was going to say The Goodfather. I was actually Goodfellas and then fucking Godfather. So I'll just use Back to the Future as an example, right? I love Back to the Future. I get that it's no like a fucking masterpiece and it's going to fucking set the world alight and it's all this kind of stuff, right? But I'm pretty sure I gave it a 5 because to me, it's a film that every time I watch it, I enjoy it. And I know that that's not the case for everybody, but see these wee fucking brainless idiots, right? That post on fucking Instagram that can't grasp that does man nothing. They can all fuck off.
Oh,
See how you
And
do
when
this.
they post, I'll not be saying a word.
I think we should start doing Sean's mailbox. Followers sending in questions for Sean to Dan about, things for Sean to Dan about.
No, but I'm absolutely spot on. I'm absolutely spot on. Like, if everybody fucking liked the same things, then like everything would be amazing. It just doesn't work like that. Like, again, Breaking Bad's a great example. The greatest TV show ever made for me. Other people will say The Sopranos. Kel will say it's totally shite. It is what it is. Like, it just shouldn't rile people up.
It's riled you up.
I'm fucking proper raging now.
Sean's raging about what could get said.
Oh no, it's not. It doesn't bother me. It's just I just know the wee smarmy wee fuckers, man. Like, you call yourself a movie review page? Fuck off.
Aye, that's exactly what we call ourselves.
Why is
Honestly,
it
God, man.
your complaint comment voice sounds like you're from Edinburgh?
Because that's what they all sound like.
Oh, are you okay, Sean?
I'm fine now.
Right, well, I think this is maybe a good time to wrap this up. Sean needs to go and have a valley or something.
I'm gonna get a hot dog.
Right, guys, thanks for listening. Appreciate it. As Morons bid you farewell. Get a hot
Fuck
dog.
off.
Everyone just back off.
Fuck off. Fuck
I'm
you.
sick of them all.
Sorry I don't speak moron as well as you, but let me try.
What the hell is supposed to do, you moron?
It's a moron. That's not against the law.
Gun, you fucking moron.
Dressed up like Batman.
Because he is Batman, you moron.
What are you, a fucking moron?
You moron. Drop dead. Moron.
Whoa!
Up here, you morons.
Stepping morons like yourself.
Me down, you moron. Hey, moron.
Bid you farewell and good luck, morons. Bye.